pause in between, but very high level where I'm asking you why is the topic of unpaid caregiving so important. And for you, Anil, if you want to talk about it, I've heard you articulate it in a couple of really great ways. One is developing countries. One is if you want to talk about a specific country.
Sure.
There's kind of no rule to how we do this. I'll be asking you what Cares Worldwide does.
Yeah.
So if you have you articulate that very well. We'll talk about the significant challenges facing carers today. We talked about that upstairs. Why is embracing care important? And then if there's specific initiatives, you have really innovative things that you have done that I'd love to capture. So let's go through those and then.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Are you ready? Okay.
How is the sound? Okay.
He's not so happy now. But you have a micro, so we will hear you.
Excellent.
Okay. So the first question is, why is this topic of unpaid caregiving so important?
Thank you so much for asking me that question. The unpaid caregiver is so important because 3 reasons. One, the role they are playing is quite significant to the person being cared for, but it hasn't been recognized or acknowledged. Because of the caring responsibility, it is having the significant impact on their health and well-being. And the third point I would like to share is because of this caring responsibility, again, there is a significant impact on their financial difficulties. So these are the 3 points. One is recognition, impact on health and well-being, and third one is about financial burden they are facing, because they have to not only pay for care for individuals' health needs, but also they are losing the income because they are unable to go to work. They are losing income because they can't hold the job. They are losing employment. Because of these reasons, it is important to recognize the wonderful role played by the unpaid family caregivers.
Can you tell me what Cares Worldwide does?
Carers Worldwide was set up 6 years ago. Primarily tried to highlight the issues of carers in developing countries like India, Nepal and Bangladesh, and address them strategically through partnership approach. We act as a catalyst to do 2 things. One is to bring about the systemic changes in the countries where we are working, and the second one is what is it we do for carers in developing countries through partners. We do 5 things for carers. For the first time in the history of these developing countries, we have promoted carers only emotional support groups to reduce their loneliness, isolation and feeling of alone. So this emotional support group not only helping them to overcome that loneliness, but also able to connect with other carers in a similar situation. That interconnectedness has been fantastic. Today we have almost 500 such groups are operating. Every month more than 20,000 carers meet in different parts of the world. And the second one is, as I mentioned earlier, because of caring responsibility, their health is affected. Once the carers comes on to the programs, for each individual carers we do the health assessment, thorough health assessment, whether they have the physical health issues, whether they have mental health issues, or they need a counseling support, family issues, relationship issues and all. So we address them through primary healthcare system by building the capacity of the professional general practitioners to think about the carers issue. That is the second aspect. The third one is to augment the family income. What we do is we look at what is it carers they were doing before they became a carers. Would they like to go back to that previous work? How do we facilitate alternative caring system so that carer has an opportunity to go back to previous work? Alternatively, if they have an idea they want to pursue, we will provide the training and link up with the market so they can initiate some kind of income generation activity at home based. When we started 6 years ago, only 30% of carers had a regular income. Today, 84% of carers are having regular income. That is the third. Along with that, there are so many young carers are there, child carers are there. They have been caring for their siblings or parents. Because of caring responsibility, they are dropping out of school, unable to continue the education. One side we talk about the right to education, but here are children missing out from the system. So how do we enable the child carers or young carers to continue their education? So we have promoted innovative ideas like community caring centers, where 2 adult carers care for their siblings or parents during the school hours, so that children have an opportunity to continue their education. Today, 3 years ago, 300 carers were dropped out of school, and we are working more than 350 young carers or child carers back in full-time school. All of them are back in school now. Fourth, what we do is probably once they have become a carer, they never had an opportunity to take a time off. There is no respite care or a short break. It is a concept which is totally new to the carers in the developing countries. And because of caring responsibility, their batteries constantly discharge. There is no opportunity to recharge their batteries. So we provide a daycare center. So during the daytime, at least 6 to 8 hours, they can avail that respite care or a short break. Finally, what we do for carers is provide a platform. Earlier, carers were feeling that I'm invisible, hidden behind the curtain. I don't have the voice. Of course, I'm very proud to be caring for somebody whom I love dearly, but what about my right? What about my need? Who is listening to my issue? So what we have done is we have promoted 9 such carers organizations in last 6 years in 3 countries, and that has given a vital platform for them to advocate, to fight for their rights, to highlight their issues, and network with other agencies accessing the services. So these are the 5 things we do for carers.
So, Anil, can you do one clip for me where you say Carers Worldwide serves carers in India, Bangladesh, and Nepal, and we have 5 core
Elements of the
elements,
model.
and then just
Yeah,
boom, boom,
sure,
boom.
sure.
So I can have
Yeah.
that one piece.
Yeah.
But there's so much I can pull from what you just went through, so it was fine. But that would be great to just have that one soundbite. Okay.
Carers Worldwide, we do 5 things for carers. 1, we promote emotional support group for carers. Second is to address their health issues. We promote working with the primary health care centers to provide the health services to the carers. Third one is it is about employment. It is about education and training for carers to augment the family income. And the fourth one is to recharge their batteries, to have an opportunity to take time off. We provide respite and short breaks. Finally, we provided a platform, promoted carers associations to have the legitimate voice and advocate for their rights and access for the needs. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Why is a global initiative like Embracing Care so important?
Embracing Care, which is a global initiative, it is so important for various reasons. One is bringing the organizations together, that collaborative spirit, having this opportunity to share and learn from each other and the challenges they have been facing. If it wasn't to Embracing Carers, perhaps we wouldn't have been coming together. That is one reason. Second one is it drives the attention of the policymakers, particularly about the issues which has been invisible so far, and having so many organizations working on carers issue coming together and having the one voice and embracing carers anchoring that role makes a huge difference. That is second aspect, I would say. And the third one is particularly the question about the visibility. Embracing carers, what it is highlighting is not just the issue, but making it visible, bringing it to the mainstream agenda point, particularly in health and well-being sector. So those are the 3 points I would like to highlight here, why embracing carers is so important.
What would you say are the most significant challenges, and you may have touched on this already, Anil, as you were talking about what your organization does, but maybe if you could just say one of the most important challenges facing carers in developing countries is, but don't string together or count them, just give me like one topic and touch on it, and then let's start maybe, how many would you want to touch on? Like maybe 2 or 3 of them, and then
three of them, yeah.
Okay, so let's just like have you start with one of the biggest challenges facing caregivers in developing countries is, and just do a very short piece on that, and then we can start another piece on it, because then I can pull those. That works. So you can think about it first.